Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Please. Kalikesh ji, you please wait for a minute. There is some announcement to be made. Honorable members, I have a list of 29 more speakers to speak on these demands for grants of Ministry of Home Affairs. Those who want to lay their written speech on the table of the House, they can do so. It will be treated as a part of the proceedings. Kalikesh Singh Deo.
Mr. Chairman, sir. I am happy to see this all-round support for a very crucial and a very urgent issue. That is the demand for grants on the home. The primary duty of any government is to protect the lives of its citizens. And the Union Government of India is constitutionally bound to protect its states from external aggression and internal disturbances. This has been stated by the Home Ministry in its annual report of 2008. Therefore, I am sure this entire House is in agreement to that effect. But sir, today if you look at the map of India, we will be strained to find any one portion which is free from disturbances. Right from the strategic state-sponsored terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, which has extended now to all major metropolitan cities of our country, to the initial Chinese support for the ethnic secessionist militancy in the northeast, which still finds a safe haven in Bangladesh, to the cancer growing in India's heart, the Naxal, left-wing ultra-extremist Naxalism, which still finds moral support from the Maoists of Nepal. Yes, we agree that today external factors play as much of a role as internal factors in domestic disturbances. However, sir, we have to also agree, no matter how many external factors encourage disturbances within our country, unless we don't have genuine within our system, genuine lackings within our system, these external factors will not be able to operationalize those disturbances within our country. Therefore, the old saying that law and order is just a state subject does not hold true entirely in today's day and age. Sir, with that in context, sir, let us be clear that the so-called global war on terrorism will not address domestic security concerns. While Pakistan may be an ally of the United States of America in fighting a war against the Taliban on its western borders, even now on the eastern borders, infiltration is rampant. To that effect, sir, I would like to humbly submit to the House that the government's position in including Balochistan in the bilateral issues of discussion between Pakistan and India is a mistake. Because now every time we flag Kashmir, we flag Balochistan back at us. So we have an endemic problem. The infiltration is combined with ethnic similarities between us and our neighbors. We will not be able to distinguish on an ethnic basis who is an infiltrator, who is a domestic citizen. Open and porous borders have added to the confusion. I'm happy to note that the Home Ministry is spending some money on fencing our borders. I'm also extremely happy during the presidential address from the Honorable President of India this time, she has categorically stated a national unique identification number will be given to each and every citizen of our country. I repeat, to each and every citizen of our country. However, the government has not come out with any such statement. From the government side, we are not sure if this national UID will be given to every member of the population of the country or every citizen of the country. I have a categorical assurance from the Home Minister that as per the President of India's speech, the UID will be given to each and every citizen of the country. Therefore, it takes us to the next issue. What do we do with the thousands and thousands of illegal immigrants which are residing in our country? Sir, Bangladesh refuses to acknowledge the of any illegal immigrants from their side within our country. Sir, as far as I am aware, we have no refugee. India has no refugee law to address immigration, illegal immigration in the country. What do? Do we keep pushing them back across the Bangladeshi borders in the middle of the night, as has been the practice, just to find them back within our country in 3 months? Or do we need to evolve a law, a national law, out of national consensus, after due debate and discussion on the floor of this House, a refugee law which will address this endemic problem? So the question before us today is whether this government is in a position to address the security concerns of our nation. I would like to present some facts to you on the basis of which we can assess and analyze this position. So a police population ratio is a ratio of number of policemen per 1 lakh population within a country. The United Nations norms have suggested that the police population ratio, the minimum police population ratio to protect any country should be 222 policemen per 1 lakh population. So a country like Malaysia has 400 police population ratio. England and France have over 340, while India had a sanction strength in 2007 of 145 and an actual strength of 117. Sir, I ask you, is it possible for 120 crore Indian population to be protected on an area of 31 lakh 66,414 square kilometers with such few policemen? The union government has a very categorical answer. Law and order is a state subject. The states must address this issue. So we know this country and pretty much every state within the country in the 1990s faced a huge fiscal problem. The FRBM Act was enacted at that point of time. A freeze was done on hiring, on recruiting new security personnel, both in the state police force as well as in the intelligence or the central intelligence agencies. Today's day and age also, sir, the states are not in a position to fill up these vacancies. The highest number of vacancies there are in the mid-level officer within the states. As a result of which, addressing the grave security concerns India has been left high-handed. So, all the schemes of the central government go either into upgrading the hardware of the state police force or in terms of IRB to raising battalion and paying for their salaries for 1 year. I would like to appeal to the Honorable Home Minister to, maybe even for a period of 5 years, to have a scheme which will help the states recruit and fill up these vacancies for their salaries on a structured basis for the next 5 years. Because that, sir, is the order of the day. Sir, a decision to allocate 1,600 crores a year under the modernization of police force scheme was taken when the scheme was started. However, I have been going through the last 5 years' budget, and not once has the government allocated 1,600 crores. I believe this year also it's about 1,200 or 1,250 crores. I would urge the Honorable Home Minister to talk to the Honorable Prime Minister and ensure that for a concern which is so grave and such a high risk, that the government should put enough emphasis and allocate 1,600 crores under MPF. Sir, we have realized that the terrorists have moved from targeting specific government locations to targeting cities now. We had the bomb blast in Ahmedabad, we had it in Jaipur, Bangalore, Delhi, and now finally it culminated in 26/11 on Bombay. However, in the entire budget of the Home Ministry this time, I do not find any specific scheme addressing the security concerns of metropolitan areas. Yes, I am happy that they have selected 5 or 6 metros to put up NSG facilities. So give me 2 minutes, sir. My first speech.
Madam speech.
Oh, yours is a maiden speech. 2 minutes allowed.
Thank you, sir. Sir, but NSGs are the last lesson of any force. Something must be done to ensure the local police force has the capacity to has the intelligence to counter these incidents before they happen. Sir, now we come to an issue which is very close to your heart and mine, Naxalism. Sir, Naxals very cleverly use the forests and the rigid administrative boundaries of the 4 or 5 states they function in to weave in and out of them, and the police cannot follow them because of their own rigid administrative concerns. I note that the Honorable Home Minister is putting 10 Cobra units in the various states. However, sir, Cobras are special operation units. They will only work on special operations. What about beefing up the security system which exists there? Sir, in that context, Odisha had asked for 8 CRPF units, Central Paramilitary Force units, and only 4 has been given. Not only that, sir, the 4 units in Kandhamal, which the Honorable Home Minister expressed such concern about in the upper house, 4 units are also being threatened to be taken away. I would urge the government to reconsider that. Sir, in these Naxal-infested districts, the government has to be extra concerned about the sensitivities of the local population. However, sir, we find that the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha has written a letter to the Honorable Prime Minister addressing a concern about building a dam in Malkangiri, across Malkangiri district called Polavaram. So under this dam, without consent of the government of Odisha, the CWC and the Ministry of Water Resources has sanctioned this dam, as a result of which thousands of acres of land will be submerged in the Naxal-infested district of Malkangiri. Now, how do you think the government will address this concern of Naxalism if this is the treatment meted out to the state by the union government? Sir, one of the biggest lackings of the government of India and the state government is in the Naxal-infested areas is to have a centralized intelligence system. I am happy to know about the MAC and SMAC concept which the Union Home Ministry has now envisioned. However, sir, 1 or 2 points disturbs me. I would hope the Honorable Home Minister clears that. One is, sir, even today, in the central intelligence agencies, we have a shortage of more than 2,000 officers who are trained. Where would you get the extra officers to fill up the vacancies in the MAC and SMAC concept? Secondly, sir, in a system, the inherent flaw in such a system, which is in the United States also, is that there is general one-upmanship between security agencies. Information will not be divulged. How will the Home Minister address that concern?
Conclude now.
Sir, after 9/11 in the United States of America, there has been no more attack of such kind. That's because of the stringent security measures they have undertaken in the United States of America, including biometric system securities. There is no such system which exists in India today. I have been given to hear that it's been 4 years that such a pending with the Home Ministry for the security of the Lok Sabha and the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Even that has not been sanctioned so far. I would urge the Honorable Home Minister to expedite that, and not only in the government buildings, but to expedite that in all strategic vulnerable locations which exist in our country.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sri C. Sivasamy.